My name is Brooke. Teacher tenure provides job security for teachers who have successfully completed a probationary period. My argument is to simplify the process of removing a tenured teacher. Georgia Governor Roy Barnes pushed a law through the legislature eliminating tenure for new teachers. Barnes told a joint session of the General Assembly, "Most of the time, tenure means a principal doesn't even try to dismiss a teacher because even if the principal bucks the odds and succeeds, the cost in time and money is staggering." Aside from the cost of removing a poorly performing tenured teacher, there are other negative setbacks of teachers who receive tenure. The process for removing a tenured teacher should be simplified. We should simplify this process for 3 reasons. Removing poorly performing tenured teachers is expensive. Teachers with tenure status can lack motivation, and administrators are less likely to discipline tenured teachers. First, I want to talk about the difficulty and the cost it takes to remove a tenured teacher. The removal of poorly performing teachers is so difficult and costly that schools end up keeping their bad teachers. A June 1st, 2009 study by the New Teacher Project found that 81% of school administrators knew a poorly performing tenured teacher at their school. However, 86% of administrators said they do not always pursue dismissal of teachers because of the cost and time-consuming process. It is extremely costly for a school district to let a tenured teacher go. For example, it costs an average of $250,000 to fire a teacher in New York City. A tenured teacher may fight the school board's decision, costing thousands in legal fees, or they may want to be bought out of their contract. This process involves months of legal wrangling by the principal, the school board, the union, and the courts. A February 11, 2010 LA Weekly investigation found that Los Angeles Unified School District spent $3.5 million trying to fire 7 underperforming teachers. On average, legal struggles to remove each teacher took 5 years and ended with 4 of the teachers being fired. 32 other underperforming teachers were given an average of $50,000 to quit. Many school districts have experienced budget cuts over recent years. As a result, a school district would not want to spend to let a tenured teacher go and just keep their bad teachers. Districts have tight budgets, and the cost of due process can cripple a district's budget. Now that we know how expensive it is to remove a tenured teacher, I'm going to talk about how teachers who have received tenure status and how they can lack the motivation they once had to perform in the classroom. Christopher Beam from Slate magazine states, "The most common pro-tenure argument is that it protects academic freedom. Once a teacher gains tenure, the thinking goes, he or she can say without fear of being fired. Additionally, many other teachers will work hard, ascending the ladder to reach the goal of tenure, while immediately afterward falling into a state of relief, leading to a lower level of motivation. It is always apparent to students when a teacher would rather be somewhere else. And this is a huge contributing factor to the reasons why many kids have a negative association with school. This system protects ineffective teachers who are not properly suited for the job and do not have the passion for teaching anymore. Teacher tenure creates satisfaction because teachers know they are unlikely to lose their jobs. Tenure removes incentives for teachers to put in more than the minimum effort and to focus on improving their teaching. Teachers need to stay motivated to perform well in the classroom. Teacher tenure may create self-satisfaction in teachers because the teachers understand that it is far less likely that they will lose their job. They may come to the classroom every day but put in little effort and not truly care about the children they are teaching. Now that we know tenure may cause teachers to lack motivation, I finally want to talk about the chance that administrators are less likely to discipline a teacher who is tenured compared to one who is a probationary teacher, even if they have committed the same offense. Teacher tenure appears to make administrators less likely to discipline educators who perform unsatisfactory or who engage in inappropriate activity. For instance, in 2005, an investigation found that out of more than 95,000 teachers in Illinois, only 2 were let go for poor performance. The same investigation found that an average of only 5 teachers were let go for misconduct. School board presidents believe that teacher tenure makes it more difficult to improve education. In an October 1st, 2006 survey, 91% of school board presidents either agreed or strongly agreed that tenure impedes the dismissal of underperforming teachers. 60% also believe that tenure does not promote fair evaluations. Teacher tenure may benefit some teachers, but does nothing to promote the education of children. Former DC Schools Chancellor Michelle Rhee said, "Tenure is the holy grail of teacher unions, but it has no educational value for kids. It only benefits adults." Public Agenda President Deborah Wadsworth argues that because senior teachers will choose to teach more resource-rich and less challenging populations instead of the classrooms that would benefit the most from experienced teachers, teacher tenure leads to a distribution of talent that is flawed and inequitable. Now that removing poorly performing teachers is expensive, teachers with tenure status can lack motivation, and administrators are less likely to discipline tenured teachers, we can conclude that the process for removing a tenured teacher should be simplified.